twirling in and climbing over the seats. Oh, dizzy. Right, here we are. So what's this celebratory video all about?
We have been on the road for 1 year.
Prudhoe!
Prudhoe, yeah.
Uno año. We've been on the road for a year. We've just tipped over 20,000 miles. That's perfect.
Yep, which gives you an idea. If we've been on the road for a year and we've only done 20,000 miles, then we are very slow. And actually, the one thing I have noticed very much as the year has gone on is that when we, in Alaska and Canada and in the States, we were very much chasing our tails. Probably because we were being chased by the winter coming down. We knew the snow was coming at some stage.
Someone kept saying the snow's coming every day.
Well, there was doomsday dust. There was doomsday dust on the mountain.
Yeah.
So it was time to go. So, but the one thing I have noticed is that we have become a lot more relaxed in what we don't do as much as what we do.
We don't do much.
So we go to many touristy places when we're on the go, but the one thing we don't do is we don't try to cram as much into every available minute. We are quite happy to sit around in hotels all day, maybe whether it be blogging or just general vegetabling.
Vegetabling, a new word we
picked up on the way. Well, we didn't create it.
Tim from Donkey Sunrise created it.
Tim created it because we call it vegging.
He said, what are you doing today? He said, vegging. He said, vegetabling.
Vegetabling.
What's vegetabling? He went, oh, that's it. That's the new word. Yes, we do a lot of vegetabling, but that's part of it. We can't. And people have travelled will understand this. People that haven't won't. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting travelling every single day. We generally, if we do get a little bit of spurt on and ride every day, we only manage about 3 or 4 days, don't we? Go, oh, we need another day off.
I think the thing that I find more exhausting than anything else, and it's not a negative because it is also a positive in its own right as well, is that actually some of our routine, and as humans we love routines, but some of our routine is packing. Almost every day it's packing the bags, packing the bikes to move on to somewhere else. And it's exhausting in itself. You know, everything has its place, and but we're just packing, we're unpacking, we're packing.
Loading the bikes, unloading the bikes.
But the absolute positive from all that is that we are going to so many different places. Yes. We have experienced so many different cultures, landscapes, people, experiences. I mean, if you'd asked me a year ago if I was going for my first dive in a Mexican cenote, I would have laughed you out the door. I mean, it wouldn't have even been a thought.
No.
But that was purely off the back of a chance meeting with fellow bikers on a mountain road.
If you'd said to me, my favourite insect is butterflies. I love butterflies. If you'd said to me, you'll be standing on the top of a mountain with butterflies fluttering around your head, flying past, I'd have said, don't be silly. We didn't know anything about that place until we camped somewhere else and somebody said, are you going to see the butterflies? What butterflies? And then off we went.
Yep.
And that's what it's about. We sometimes do Google best things to do here, best things to do there, but you tend to get the touristy things. They cost money, sometimes a lot of money, which we don't want to spend on. Yes, there might be experiences, but we don't want to spend the money on that because we'd rather spend it travelling further another day to see another view. We love nature, we love the views, we love geology.
Yeah, if you're going to Mexico for 2 weeks, you cram as much as you can into those 2 weeks, and money almost doesn't matter. It's about cramming as many experiences as possible. If it costs you £2,000, £5,000, that's great. You're going back home in 2-3 weeks. For us, we're looking for the cheaper enjoyments and the more natural enjoyments. Which
are the things we like anyway.
Yeah, we are staying in some fantastic places because it is a lot cheaper here. The one thing I would say to people back home, if you're looking for a holiday and you want your best bang for buck, invest in your long flight, get to somewhere like South America. Your money will go a long way and you will get some fantastic experiences that you don't necessarily get from the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Although we are technically still within the Northern Hemisphere. We haven't reached Ecuador yet.
No,
but
I
that's
love
beside
Colombia.
the point.
I love Colombia. And we've had kind
It is
of...
a bit risky, mind.
It is. We've had more... Well, we haven't had any risky occasions, don't get me wrong, we haven't. But we've had a warning by the police not to go a certain way, so we didn't. And then yesterday we turned around on the dirt road. I just didn't know where it was going to go, and I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do it today. And then some guy said, oh, they're stopping people up there and demanding money. So maybe we just got away with that one by the skin of our teeth. You can't not travel though because of fear. You really can't. You just have to talk to the locals, talk to the police, go on with your gut instinct.
And sometimes the fear becomes the adventure in itself. But no, just carry on that point about fear. When we've been on the road, we have heard of people who have come across the wrong side, the nasty side of humans. They have been robbed, they've been beaten up, they've been sexually abused. Even as we sit here now, there is concern about a biker that has disappeared.
Radio silence for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's been off grid for 3 weeks, which is unusual. Apparently 3 days is about the norm. He normally checks in
with someone.
No one's seen him for 3 weeks.
So the community's kind of out and about, just keeping an eye out, trying to find out where he is. But you can't not do anything because of fear. You just take your risk assessment and you go and you do it. And yeah, travelling is just all about the gut instinct.
There are no guarantees in life.
No.
You just have to get out there and make the most of it.
You really do. We've got some fun stats for you for the first year. You know, how many accidents, how many illnesses, how many haircuts. I'll put those up on the screen at the end for you to read.
The one thing that we have missed over the year, but we haven't actually experienced a winter. We've been in perpetual summer.
Spring and summer.
Spring, summer.
We had a little bit of autumn with colours in British Columbia.
Yeah.
We had some beautiful colours in British Columbia, but it's been perpetual spring/summer, and actually I really, really miss the seasons. Even when it rains, it's not the same. I think I miss my dressing gown, but that's another story. I really miss my dressing gown. See, this is connected to the seasons. There's nothing better than getting all wrapped up in a nice hot bath, getting all wrapped up in your dressing gown and sitting by the fire. I love that. Coming in from a cold day or a wet day, getting, oh, I'm cold and wet, you're all snug. You know, I miss that. Now we're kind of trying to escape the heat constantly. But as we go south, it will get cold again. Borders, they can stress us out sometimes. And the night before we went into Mexico, we really didn't sleep. Total, not fear, but anxiety about the unknown. New language, not understanding everything all the time. It's just different. But actually, that border was fine. It was, you know, it took 2 or 3 hours, but with nobody else there. But that's just what it takes, and it was
easier
fine.
Than getting in and out of Nicaragua, that's for sure.
Fun because yes, they're paranoid about drones. Fair enough, that's their rules. You unload your bike, all your bags go through a scanner. But each border, as we've gone further south, has got easier and easier, to be fair. We haven't had fixers chasing us at the last couple of borders. You know, you turn up at a border sometimes in Central America and you're just surrounded by guys all on at you. Do this, do this, do this. And you just get so bewildered, and that's their plan. Make you bewildered, and then you'll follow one of them. And then by the time he's finished, you've got 4 friends with him, you have to pay them all. So we've got good at saying no. Having been scammed once, we got good at saying no. We've also had to deal with the hardest thing about this trip, and it was the hardest thing we thought about when leaving, is bereavement.
Yeah. My dad died while we were away.
While we are away.
Oh, while we are away.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah. He passed away when we were in Panama, didn't he?
Yeah. Which is actually very difficult because you're not part of the family nucleus. You can't help the family. You don't become a part of any of the decision making, which I found really hard. And that feeling of being left out.
Yeah, it's difficult. And then we did attend the funeral on a link, and you watch it and you're kind of there, but you're not there. It's fine. It gives you some kind of completion, but it's not the same. It's not the same as being what you'd call a normal situation where you're in amongst the family, or you can go to the family, etc. So that's been really quite difficult, but we did find a really good way of marking his passing. combining his love of trains and your love of motorbikes, and that was really good. The sad thing though was he was really looking forward to us getting to the Panama Canal. He was really, oh, the Panama Canal, you'll be there soon, and then he wasn't there to see us get there. That was really sad. And when we went to see the locks and the boats and everything else, we were fascinated, it was really exciting, but there's also, that day was really quite sad because we thought, yeah, he's not going to see this. Oh, I'm filling up. But yeah, so that's been a really difficult part of it, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It has.
But it has been a part of it we knew may happen, so we've had to accept that.
The flip side to that particular coin is that we consider it a privilege. We had the privilege of saying goodbye to people before we left, not knowing what the future may bring. Now, not many people are given the privilege of actually saying goodbye.
Yeah.
So we had that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, 1 year on the road, 20,000 miles, and we're currently in Colombia. The little video map stops as we reach Colombia. We're currently in Colombia, heading south. Let's see where the next year takes us.
And for the nth time, although this may be the only time that makes it to the video, available in store.
That's what they look like.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Chasing the dream.
Excuse me.
We're chasing the dream. Show them the logo.
I think they've seen the logo by now.
Well, you'd like to think so.
You'd like to think so.
Jungle bugs. So, hope you've enjoyed our little map. Let's see where the next year takes us, and I shall twirl away from the first year, twirling away along here.
Keep going.
I'm dizzy.
Keep going. There's a cliff down there.